In this video, I'm going to tell you little bit about my recent trip to Isle Royale. I went there for a botany class. So we're going to start here with by talking about this bridge, this iconic bridge. If you've been to Hancock or Houghton, Michigan, I know you've seen this bridge. It is a double decker vertical lift bridge. So there's two different levels. As you can see in the picture, that one that is for vehicle traffic, and then the lower level is both railroad and vehicle traffic. So it can be raised up to two different heights to accommodate whatever size ship is coming through. I'm going to put a link in the description below to a website that'll give you more information about this bridge. I think it has a very interesting history. Well, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm traveling, I love stopping in libraries. Libraries, big and small. Each one is unique, and I think the library tells you a lot about the community. Now, when you walk into the Hancock Library, on the wall in the foyer, you'll see these books, and what those are actually on the spine, is that what you call it, is the name of somebody who made a donation to the library. So, what a beautiful and fitting way to acknowledge their donation and their contribution. This library has a lot of very nice and comfortable looking sitting areas. So here we have some very comfy cushioned chairs and a sofa and a beautiful fireplace. And now here's some rocking chairs for two looking out over the water, over the canal. This is the children's area. Look at those little blue chairs. Don't you want to go in and try each one of them? Little bigger after that, and then that beautiful tree in the corner. What a great place to sit and read or do some activities. So, and the colors are just magnificent throughout, very calming and very relaxing. And then over in the corner of the library is sitting for four, and this looks out towards that bridge that we were just talking about. What a great place for people to sit and meet. And now we're going to drive across that bridge and go from Houghton into Hancock, and I'll show you where I spent the night before getting on the ferry the next morning. Well, I'm at the City of Hancock camping area. I'm going to turn around in just a moment and show you. We are on, oops, it might be too, I don't know if you can see the water. So the campground is on is it a channel or something that goes out to Lake Superior? So tomorrow, when we get on the ferry, we will be riding right past this campground. It's a beautiful place. I've stayed here the last 2 years when I went to Isle Royale, and now I'm back. It's like part of the journey. And there's my van, and that's where I spent my night. um, and it's interesting that this is my third time staying at the Hancock campground, and I've gotten that site each time. It's like the perfect site When you pull in, it's level, so you don't have to worry about like trying to level out the van or to which end should I put my head. It's close to the bathrooms so that I can use the bathrooms and not use my porta potty at night. Because if I used my porta potty, then I'd have to make sure that was all clean before I parked my van and left it closed up for a week. So I love the Hancock camping area, very reasonably priced, clean bathrooms, hot showers. I highly recommend you staying there if you're up in the Houghton Hancock area. All right, we are on the ferry and we are now traveling down the Portage Canal. So we leave the ferry dock in Houghton, go underneath that bridge, and then travel up the Portage Canal to get to Lake Superior. Oh, there's a loon out in the water that was following us for a while. Is that awesome? Well, heading out, I was going to say heading out to sea. I know sometimes Lake Superior can seem like a sea, but it's not. It's a lake. And she was very cooperative on this trip. She was very quiet. So there's the lighthouse at the end of the canal. And now we are out in the open water. Look at that blue sky, blue water. So incredibly beautiful. Well, we're soon going to be coming up to our sighting of Isle Royale. This is the first lighthouse that you see when you're approaching Isle Royale. And every time I see that, it's just like my heart goes like, I'm home. I'm home. Isn't that beautiful? Isle Royal is part of and I'm not even going to pretend like I know how to say this, archipelago, whatever it is. So it's like there are like, I think that's like over 400 islands in this area of various sizes, of course. Now, Isle Royal is, I'm thinking it's like 6 miles across and 45 miles long. So I do believe so. That's the largest one, but then there's all these little islands scattered around. One of my favorite places on Isle Royal is Scoville Point. So you get there from Rock Harbor. And so this is our class heading out to Scoville Point. It's about 2 miles roughly, maybe a little bit less from Rock Harbor out to the point. Now, this was a botany class, and of course, we have to stop and look at lots and lots and lots of vegetation, like anything that's growing. It took us, believe it or not, it took us 4.5 hours. Yes, 4.5 hours to go that 2 miles out to Scoville Point. But it was so worth it. So, again, if you get to Isle Royal, make sure you head out to Scoville Point. Our instructor, Janet Marr, gave us a 7-page list of plants that have been seen on Isle Royal. And I every time I saw one of the plants, I would put a little check by it. And I just went and counted the checks that I made on that list, and I counted 110 plants. Yep, that's what we saw in 4 days. And there may have been others that people saw that I didn't get checked off because sometimes I would get so engrossed in looking at something, and I would miss something else. Um, if you, I'm going to put a link to Janet's class down below. If you like botany, you got to take her class. She does an awesome job. It was amazing. So this flower that we've been looking at, this plant we've been looking at, Calypso balbosa, isn't it incredibly cute? I think it grows just like 6 inches tall. It is so. This was like the first thing that we were like on the lookout for to see if we could find it, and we ended up finding them in so many places that we hiked, and every time we saw it, um, we would get so excited. There we just had to get down on our knees and just like really get in there and get to know this plant. It's just one of the incredible orchids on Isle Royal. These photos and videos were taken on the morning that we were heading over to Raspberry Island. We were gonna take a motorboat over there. So this was about 8:15 in the morning. Beautiful blue sky. But what I found so intriguing is those lower clouds, the ones that are closer to the horizon. They're like these wispy fingers that are just reaching out all the way across the horizon, all the way from one direction to the other, just like encircling Rock Harbor with these wispy finger like clouds. So you see, it's blue skies. We can see like almost forever. Incredibly beautiful morning. But things are going to change. Things are going to look different when we're ready to leave Raspberry Island and come back to Isle Royal. This photo was taken on Raspberry Island. We walked for a while and then got over to this side where it was just these incredible rocks to climb up on and to look out over Lake Superior. There were places like down in the rocks. There were little ponds where we actually saw frog and water insects and whatever. Really cool. Um, in order to get here, we had to walk on a boardwalk through a bog, which was very interesting to see because there were carnivorous plants there, sundews and pic- pitcher plants. It was just, oh my goodness, it was gorgeous. So gorgeous. When we got back to the pier where the boat was going to come and pick us up to take us back to Isle Royal, one of the ladies in our group noticed this rock. Uh, and it was just like so intriguing because this one rock was so different from all of the other rocks. And it was big. I mean, bigger than a dinner plate. It was humongous. It's like, first of all, I don't know what kind of rock it is. And then how did it get there? There are so many intriguing facts and details about Isle Royal. The questions never stop. So I told you the sky was going to look different when we were heading back to Isle Royal from Raspberry Island. This is the boat that's coming to pick us up. and we could not see it coming until it was so incredibly close. It was like this ghostly vision coming through the fog. It had to be like beeping its horn, its foghorn, to let other boats in the area know that it was there. So that was yeah, and so our ride over to Raspberry Island was like over almost before it started. But this time, it going back, it took much longer because of the fog. I'm glad that our captain had good sense of direction. These photos we're seeing now are of two of the seaplanes that come into Isle Royale. They land in Tobin Harbor. Everybody I spoke with said that they're enjoyable flights. I think it's oh, I may not be right here, but I think it's only like a 45-minute ride or something like that. So you're not up there very long. People tell me that it's comfortable. They've enjoyed it. For me, it's there's six people in there and they're kind of cramped in pretty close together from what I see. So it's not the way I would choose to go there. On my last morning on Isle Royal, I went for a walk, and as I walked down the path, there was a moose. He was standing there in the trees, munching away. He came walking out onto the path, just browsing on whatever was there. He paid me absolutely no mind. I did stop very quickly and took a few steps back to make sure which direction he was going to go in. It was so magnificent to see him. So it was an amazing journey, and I saw all the things I needed to see. I did all the things I needed to do. But there's more, and I'll be going back to see more plants, to see more loons, to hear more wolves, to see more moose, and to learn more about myself. I'm Karen, and I'm growing. And you're watching Growing Old with Karen.